Hello and welcome to this broadcast celebrating the second anniversary of Mormon Women for Ethical Government. My name is Charlie Mullins-Glenn, and I guess I'm the person sort of responsible for accidentally starting this whole thing that we call MWEG. Let's look back now over some of the things that our now more than 7,000 members have accomplished over the past 2 years. It's amazing. It's miraculous. It's impossible, really, what we've done, and yet we've done it with God's help and with your hearts, minds, and hands. Thank you. Let's listen now as a few members of our leadership team express their own gratitude and wish MWEG a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, MWEG. When you came into my life 2 years ago, you were a direct answer to prayer for me. But I never could have imagined how life-changing you would be or what you would become. And you've only just begun. I can't wait to see where you go from here. To all of my MWEG sisters, you continually amaze me, and I am so deeply grateful to be able to learn from all of you. Thank you, MWEG. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, MWEG. I wish we could get together and celebrate by doing the thing that 2-year-olds love to do most, throwing a giant temper tantrum in the middle of the aisle at Target. I know that's what I feel like doing most days in reaction to the news. This is why I'm particularly grateful for this organization and the ways that it encourages me to be my better self, the ways that it leads me to be proactive, but to do it in a manner that is faithful and peaceful and rises above partisanship. We've done a lot of interesting things in the last 2 years, but I'm absolutely convinced that the best is yet to come. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, MWEG. When I joined up with you wonderful women, it was with the spirit of frustration, fear, and even anger in my soul. You have taught me to turn frustration into action, fear into faith, and anger into peacemaking. I see now that we must move forward with the most humility we can possibly muster. Let us allow ourselves to be schooled by God. Let us be innovative and driven by inspiration as we create peace in very difficult spaces. And most of all, let us lose ourselves in the love we feel for both our friends and our enemies, and let that powerful love drive us onward.
About a year ago, I was living abroad and watching what was happening in America with anguish. I'd been raised with the conviction that I ought to be anxiously engaged in a good cause, but I felt powerless to make a difference in my country. Then, one day, an MWEG call to action showed up in my newsfeed. It provided me with something concrete, an email to send, a call to make. It also gave me something abstract, hope, energy, and excitement that my people, Mormon women, were standing up and speaking out. Ever since then, the Sisterhood of MWEG has continued to show me how I can act rather than be acted upon. I'm excited to see what we can accomplish as we press onward together. Thank you to all my MWEG sisters, and happy birthday.
All right, now I would like to quickly take you through a slide deck that will provide you with an overview of our organization and what we have done and what some of our plans for the future are. So moving quickly through these slides, who are we? Mormon Women for Ethical Government is a nonpartisan, nonprofit 501c4 organization. We also have an affiliated 501c3 arm. Our vision: women of faith building a more peaceful, just, and ethical world. Our mission: to inspire women of faith to be ambassadors of peace who transcend partisanship and courageously advocate for ethical government. Our call: President Gordon B. Hinckley said, "I urge you to stand strong, even to become a leader in speaking up in behalf of those causes which make our civilization shine." And our current prophet said, speaking directly to women, "We need you to speak up and speak out." President Nelson, we're trying our best. Our moral imperative: we believe that we were created to act and not be acted upon. We know too that God expects us to be anxiously engaged in a good cause and to do many things of our own free will and to bring to pass much righteousness, for the power is in us. Our organization, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with our operational model. So we have a board of directors. We have an interim executive director. We have an executive committee. We have committee leads. We have chapter coordinators, and then our lifeblood, our members, all of you, thank you. Our 4 core attributes: we are faithful, we are nonpartisan, we are peaceful, and we are proactive. What do we do? What are our broad objectives? There are 4. They all start with E. We encircle, we educate, we empower, and then we engage. Here's a picture of our MWEG tree. Those 4 broad objectives sort of are symbolized by the 4 limbs of the MWEG tree, and the 4 core attributes are our roots, which keep us grounded. Our guiding principles are our 6 principles of peacemaking, which hopefully you all have memorized and engraven upon your hearts. Our advocacy guidelines. Some people ask us, how do you decide what it is that you advocate for? This is the answer. So we are watchdogs and activists whose advocacy is guided by tenets of our faith that motivate us to 3 things. 1, safeguard and enhance the legitimacy of democratic institutions and principles. 2, confront corruption and abuse of power and insist upon transparency and accountability. And 3, ensure that laws, regulations, policies, and government actors protect the dignity and fundamental human rights of all God's children. All right, so what has our impact been? What have we done? I'm going to organize this around those 4 broad objectives of encircle, educate, empower, and engage. So, how have we encircled? We have over 7,000 members worldwide. We have 58 chapters. We have a dynamic online discussion group where thousands of women enjoy sisterhood and actively practice the principles of peacemaking. In an external sense, we've engaged in bridge building, we've formed coalitions, we've hosted, organized, sponsored vigils, such as the Interfaith Vigil for Utah's Jewish community after the horrific shootings at the Pittsburgh synagogue earlier this year. We've hosted vigils, the Keep Families Together vigil at the border in Arizona and also in Salt Lake City. Educate. How have we educated? We have an annual MWEG conference. We have broadcasts. We participate in and host rethink tanks. We have a lot of efforts toward media literacy. We have a number of educational committees. We host panels and workshops. Externally, how do we educate? Again, we've written and published dozens of op-eds with a readership reach of over 96 million, and these op-eds have been published in the Washington Examiner, the Hill, the Deseret News, the Salt Lake Tribune, in many papers across the nation. We've issued official statements. We've published 15 declarations on ethical immigration policy and also our FAIR proposal. We've published a book, The Little Purple Book, MWEG Essentials, which I hope you all have a copy of. It's available at cost on Amazon. Our social media, on our public page, we had a weekly high, or rather a daily high of 56,738 people who engaged with one of our posts. Our Twitter account during the week of September 23rd through September 30th, this was the period during the Kavanaugh hearings where there was a lot of attention on us. We had over 167.7 thousand impressions during that 1 week. Internally, how do we empower? We have online training helping our members know how to be better, more effective advocates. We provide leadership opportunities within the organization. We have 113 women currently serving in key leadership positions within MWEG. We have leadership training and workshops. Externally, this past year, we helped register over 10,000 voters in Utah alone. Dozens of our members nationwide hosted voter preparation parties leading up to the midterm elections of 2018. We organized voter information rallies. We hosted moderated discussions between candidates. We participated in Get Out the Vote efforts. And then engage. Internally, over the past 2 years, we've issued over, and I would say well over, 300 calls to action. We've, and again, this number I think is low because we haven't had reports from all of you, but at least 8,000 calls or letters or emails or visits to offices of members of Congress from you, our members. Numerous in-person visits and deliveries to both DC and district offices of our members of Congress. Our lobbying efforts, we've partnered with organizations such as Voices for Utah Children or Moms Rising. Our advocacy, again, our op-eds have been powerful. Our letters to the editor, many of which have been written by you, other articles that have been published. Our Perfect Love Initiative, which is an anti-racism initiative. We've done advocacy on behalf of individuals. Again, our Keep Families Together vigils in Utah and Arizona, right at the border. Our numerous meetings with members of Congress and other influencers. Here are just some examples of some of those meetings. Here our immigration leads are meeting with then Senator Orrin Hatch in Washington, D.C. Our Arizona chapter hosted a nonpartisan discussion with Senator Jeff Flake. Here we have some MWEG members meeting with then Congresswoman Mia Love. Here we are with now Senator Mitt Romney, meeting with Representative John Curtis in Washington, D.C., Arthur Brooks, Jenny Wilson, Evan McMullen, Here is a tweet that I believe, I'm actually not sure who tweeted this. I'm not a Twitter expert, that's for sure. But Elizabeth Diaz, a reporter for the New York Times, covered this when Senator Cory Booker introduced our official statement about the Kavanaugh hearing into the official records of the congressional hearing. Our media coverage has been phenomenal, and it's not something that we have sought. Early on, we thought that we wanted to just sort of stay under the radar, work behind the scenes, not draw any attention to ourselves. But we soon discovered that Mormon Women for Ethical Government was a newsworthy organization because we sort of work against stereotype. So I was showing this slide deck to someone that I was consulting with. He's a fundraising guru, and he was astounded when he saw this. He was absolutely flabbergasted at the media coverage, and he said, you have hundreds of thousands of dollars of what's called earned media, which is media coverage that you don't pay for. But we have been quoted and interviewed by the New York Times, the Washington Post, PRI, NPR, The Hill, Time Magazine, Psychology Today, and so on. We've had feature articles in many of these publications, the Washington Post, the Washington Examiner, California Sunday, etc. So it's been remarkable. How have we done all of this? Our most precious resource is you. Human capital, our over 7,000 members. We've logged tens of thousands of volunteer hours. It's been remarkable. It really has. And we've done it all with very little money. We have managed to get some funds through merchandise sales, through book sales, through individual donations, etc. But it's not enough. We have needs. We plan to be around. We're here to stay. We're here to continue to make a difference. And we have both capital and operational needs. We need office space. We need office equipment. We need to be able to hire a full-time executive director. We need legal and accounting services. And we have big dreams. We have exciting plans for the future. We want to develop and grow the MWEG Institute for Civic Engagement and Peacemaking. We want to build a new and improved website. We want to be able to host a monthly webinar for our members. We want to be able to launch an MWEG podcast. All of these things take money. And we're now going to turn the time over to our interim executive director, Diana Bate Hardy, so that she can tell us how we can be part of this exciting future of MWEG. Thank you.
Hi, MWEG sisters. I am so excited to celebrate MWEG's second birthday. I started out as a bit of a reluctant member of the leadership team, but now I cannot begin to describe what a blessing it has proven to be in my life. I can honestly say that my work here, and especially the relationships I have developed with the women in this organization, have expanded my vision and helped me draw closer to Jesus Christ. I know that many of my MWEG sisters feel the same, so if MWEG has had a positive impact in your life, or even if it hasn't yet, this is the part where we ask for your help. From the beginning, there have been no membership dues for our members, and that will continue to be the case. We honor and are so grateful for the countless volunteer efforts that have made the work of this organization possible. We will continue to rely upon those efforts as volunteers, and we want women everywhere to be able to join us at no cost to them. But as Charlie just pointed out, there are some operational costs that require more than just volunteer time and effort. And there is so much more we want to do to expand our reach, amplify our voices, and increase our impact. Our vision for the future of MWEG includes things like webinar software that will help us learn together and connect beyond Facebook, a text alert system for important calls to action, the ability to hold more conferences in more locations, online training boot camps for women who want to learn how to become more civically engaged or prepare themselves to run for office, the necessary equipment to finally launch our long-desired podcast, the money for some paid staff positions that will help us create a sustainable organizational model to ensure that MWEG is around to help the next generation of women continue to build a more peaceful, just, and ethical world. So we need your financial support. Starting today, we are asking you to consider becoming part of the inaugural class of supporting and sustaining members of Mormon Women for Ethical Government. Here's what it will look like. Sustaining membership is for anyone who can give a monthly donation to MWEG, and there are 3 levels of sustaining memberships. The first is bronze, for anyone who can give $10 or more per month. And as a thank you, you'll receive a vinyl MWEG decal that you can use on your car, your laptop, and a 25% discount on our birthday celebration merchandise sale, which will be launching today. So go check out our new merchandise on the new sale tab of our website. If you can give $25 or more per month, then you'll be bumped up to the silver sustaining membership level, and you'll receive the vinyl decal plus a branded MWEG tote and a 25% discount on our birthday celebration sale. If you can give $100 or more per month, then you'll be bumped up to the gold level sustaining membership, and you'll receive the same decal, the branded MWEG tote, plus a newly designed lapel pin available only to gold sustaining members and major donors, and the 25% discount on our birthday celebration merchandise sale. If you just can't do a monthly donation right now, we also have the supporting membership category for those who make a one-time donation. And you can become a supporting member by giving $25 or more, and you will receive as a thank you a 25% discount on our special birthday celebration merchandise sale. So if you plan to stock up on Make America Ethical Again hats or our great new design t-shirts and the tote from our awesome creative team, you might want to do the math and see if that discount isn't worth becoming a supporting member just for that. Not to mention the support you'll be providing to us to keep our programs going forward. If you're able to give a one-time donation of $1,000 or more, you will be considered a major donor, and you'll receive the newly designed lapel pin available only to gold sustaining members and major donors, plus the 25% discount on our birthday celebration merchandise sale. So please consider becoming a sustaining or supporting member today. We really need your help and your support. You can find information about how to join on our website, and it will walk you through the steps of becoming a supporting or sustaining member so that we can continue to move forward. Your donations, particularly the reoccurring sustaining donations, will help us have a more predictable stream of income that allows us to budget wisely and more strategically. It also communicates to the outside world, particularly potential major gift donors, that our own members believe MWEG is worth supporting. For that reason, every dollar and every donation counts. Please become a supporting or sustaining member today. And then we have one more thing to ask. Regardless of what you are currently able to give in terms of time or money, we want to ask every one of our members to think and pray about one other woman you could invite to join us. Who do you know that MWEG needs to help us fulfill our mission? Who do you know who would be blessed by the sisterhood and the work we're engaged in here? Please reach out and invite her today. This organization is nothing without our members, and you have made it something truly remarkable. Over the past 2 years, this has truly been a place for the schooling of God's daughters. It is inspiring and humbling to witness, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. Thank you all for joining us on this grand adventure. Onward!
Hoping for a change.
As millennial women, if you could encapsulate what MWEG has brought to your life in one word, what would that word be?
Civil,
awareness,
political home, peaceful,
hopeful,
hoped, empowering,
empowered,
empowering, empowered,
unity,
unified,
unified, solidarity,
refreshing,
helpful,
focused,
inspired,
liberating,
Motivating. Who are millennial women? Happy second birthday, MWEG.
Happy birthday, MWEG. You bring so much love and light into the world. MWEG would be nothing without its members. So thank you. Let's go out and do some good.
Happy birthday, MWEG. I'm coming to you from central Germany, standing right over the fence from a 16th century Jewish cemetery. What does that have to do with MWEG? Well, our view or our vision always from the very beginning was that these efforts, this drive for ethics and integrity and honor in government would spread the globe, and it indeed has. Did you know that a couple of our op-eds or our letters to editors have ended up in international newspapers? They have. So your effect is not limited only to what's happening in the United States, but also elsewhere, and I am proud to be part of you. Happy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, MWEG. We're women with a cause, speaking out for ethics, defending worthy laws, nonpartisan and faithful, proactive and pro-peace. We learn about the issues, then call our MOCs. We will not be complacent. We're feisty, but polite. We listen, learn, and advocate. We stand for what is right. Happy birthday, MWEG.
Respected journalist and news anchor Dan Rather wrote this in November 2016. Now is a time when none of us can afford to remain seated or silent. We must all stand up to be counted. History will demand to know which side you were on. This is not a question of politics or party or even policy. This is a question about the very fundamentals of our beautiful experiment in a pluralistic democracy ruled by law. Sisters, as generations look back at this strange and troubled period of history, there will be no question which side Mormon Women for Ethical Government was on. Let it be known, we refused to be complicit by being complacent. We were not complacent. We encircled, we educated ourselves and others, we claimed our moral authority, and we acted. There is tremendous power in sisterhood, together standing shoulder to shoulder with God as our guide and our strength, the author and the finisher of our faith. We can move mountains. Sisters of MWEG, onward.